Hello and welcome to another day. We're quickly getting through all the days, but it's been a real pleasure being here and a pleasure sharing with you some of my journals, and I hope you're able to receive something beneficial from seeing all the different types of journals that you can make. So this particular journal is the one I made for the One Badass journal course that I was teaching on for 2017. And no, we haven't finished yet, but there's still lots of things in here that I really enjoy doing. Anyway, let me talk to you about the journal itself. Okay, so this is made from canvas, and it was a painting that I had done and I didn't like it at all. And it's quite amazing to think that I didn't like it as a painting, but when you look at it as a journal cover, it's just, you know, I really love it. So what I'd done to the canvas is I had applied the, it's like a latex, and you can do that with watercolour as well. It's like a latex. This is what I just ripped off, actually. There was some still there, and it dries, but you peel it off. You can paint over it, and then you just, you know, you have that the same thing with watercolor paper. You can do that. So and then I had created circles. So that was the painting, but it didn't work as a painting, but it so works for me anyway as a journal. So I utilised this, and I've made, this is like A5, I guess, A5 size, and I've got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signatures, and this is just a little flap just in case I want to add some things to it, and then it folds over and I can close it here. So again, and I've given it enough room so that there's just these little clasps. You can get that in this sewing department, haberdashery. So I've left it with a bit of give so that if I add any more paper, any more embellishments to this, then there's enough space. So on the front, you've got this little tag that I found in the store which says love, and then you've just got some embellishments, simple embellishments at the front. And in the front of the journal, it's got a scripture from 1 Corinthians 13, 4-9. Some of you may know it. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast. So yeah, I'm just going to show you some of the pages. So this was the beginning of some of the classes, and what I had decided to do was a double page spread and then take an element out of that and add it to one of the pages. And in the beginning I found that was something that I could keep up with. So this one, that's the double page spread, but I actually did 2 additional pages. So this was Tiara's lesson from the Badass Week 1, and it was about dreams. And so then this was the next session by, and I've just got a note of who the teacher was, Tracy Scott, Explore, Dream and Discover. And some of, you know, for a lot of my art journals, you will find faces in them. And again, I wanted to pick out, so I picked out the flower from this one, and on the back, just some of the pattern So the lines you can see there, but I really like that one. So this was F.E. Wild's, inspired by F.E. Wild's session, and it says, sometimes my mind be like, and then I need to tidy up. So this was just like, there's so many ideas rushing through, and then I need to just tidy it up. I need order, I need, you know, and on the front of that I put the many sides. So I feel that, you know, there are different parts to me that come out, not split personality, but you know, there are certain times where you need to the different parts to come out, whether it's, you know, you need to be patient, or you need to push yourself forward, you need to take a risk or whatever. And I think this was about, so I said, I see you, crossed it out, I see me. We often don't see ourselves. We often forget ourselves, and you know, leave ourselves out again. So it's a face. I love these colours. These are colours that I really like, and this is kind of paint, and it's still mixed media because it's paint, it's watercolour pencils. I've stamped on there, and there may be some ink there as well. It says, fear is not your enemy, it's your fuel. Share with the people who will add fuel to your dream. And this was inspired by Christine Stevenson's class, Remember to Dream. So this was the page that I did, Dancing in the Moonlight, and I showed this on my blog, I think. And this was one of the pages that, you know, I did a background and then I pulled an image out of, and what had come out first was this car, and then I thought, okay, well, and then the raft, and then at the time I was doing a lot of imagery with the sea, obviously because of where I'm living at the moment. So you've got the sea and the inspiration, and the title of her class, Christine Stevenson, was Late Night Conversations, and I really enjoyed, you know, the idea of, you know, being so free that we dance in the moonlight, and then the idea of the sea as we look out at the sea, and you know, it's just such a relaxing and soothing activity. And Magic at Midnight. There's a book called Magic at Midnight that when I was a little girl, and it was how all the animals came together and were all friends at midnight. And this little girl would wake up and witness, you know, their gatherings and stuff, but she's still dancing in the moonlight. Okay, so this was from a class done by Yellow Rose Art, Sharon Harkness, and I really like these girls. Again, so I did the background. I do backgrounds first, usually, and then create these young ladies came out, and it was about friendship. The class was about, you know, the friendships, and these ladies came out, and this reminded me of a really good friend who passed, one of my best friends, Barbara Noel, and we always talked about when we were, you know, Golden Girls, Golden Girls, and you know, looking back and seeing the grandchildren and things like that, but we never, you know, we were never able to, you know, she passed too young. but you know, it was about our friendships. And on this page it says she became the friend she wanted to have in her life and started to love herself, which is, the messages are all very important to me. And you can see the differences in terms of the styles, and I guess I don't have one particular style. I like, it's about expression to me. Okay, so this one was a class inspired by Robin, sorry, oh, gosh, do you know what your name is? The name is, sorry, Flower Painting by Robin. Anyway, but this is what came out. I can't read it, I can't read my own writing, I've got a surname there. So this was it was about flowers, wild gardens, but this is what was my interpretation, and the flowers that you can see is what I've done on washi tape. What's the washi tape that I've attached, and then what happened was I really liked doing the circles and the shapes, and this became the start of something that I'm doing at the moment, and I will share at some point. But then I did 2 other sets of the pages. But what the other thing that was inspired was this, and I did this page, and it says, she learnt creativity takes courage in the valley of the long-necked women. But this was again a page that the background was inspired first, was done first, and then these characters came out, and it was just like, oh yeah, they must be the long-necked women in the valley of the long-necked women. And they encourage peace, hope, and they've got joy around their necks, and she's got courage around her neck. So, oh sorry, no, I got it wrong. Was this inspired by Sharon? This was inspired by TR, I think, because TR does these, was it? I'm best not saying the names. This one was Sharon. I know, this one was Sharon. Okay. So here's another one. Again, like as I said, you know, the theme of the lines and squares and dashes and doodling, I guess. I created this page. Bloom. I like it. And I've become very, in some of the work that you'll see, maybe later on you'll see some of them, I've become very like detailed. It's just like some of the well, you'll see it, let me show you anyway. Sisters and Friends. So no, this was Sharon because she used imagery, and the women, they became sisters and friends. And this again was also inspired by my friend Barbara, who was a fellow artist. And what I wanted you to see, I found these images of these little children, and I wanted to imagine what they would be like now, and whether they, you know, I mean, these probably, they never knew each other, but if they did, what they would look like now. And this was just my interpretation of how they'd look like now. And they're on a boat. Embracing all parts of me, surrounded by miracles. So again, this is the kind of thing I'm talking about in terms of, you know, started doing work that involved a lot of detail and what do you call this, doodling and stuff. And this is a picture of me that I took. It was it's funny, it was a portrait not portrait, passport. And I hated it. And I was just like, why didn't the guy tell me, you know, that my forehead was greasy? Anyway, I found it and I just thought, oh, this would, you know, I could repurpose this in my journal. That's what I did. So this was just a page that I did. The gentle breeze, the bird song, the still small voice reminded her to step out of the self-imposed barriers. She was enough. So birds crop up a lot in my journal. And the reflective, eyes closed, dreaming, thinking. For this one, she had like, you know, these were like, you know, those jagged rocks. So sometimes, you know, you can be filled with those thoughts that do not serve you. And she had to really reflect on, you know, the barriers that you put up. So you put up barriers in your mind, you put up barriers around you, and the love is still there. And what you've got to do is start showing yourself love. So moving on, I began to again explore, you know, kind of creating backgrounds, but kind of adding these shapes and colours. And I think maybe that might look nice as a print, a large print. Words to describe me, what it looks like. So, yeah, words to describe me. And windows to the world of wonder, shadow selves, our souls need rest. And then I've got some wise, beautiful, loving, caring, original, unique words that I wanted to describe me. So we move on. I can't show you some of the pages yet because I've not. I can show you this one. This one I shared recently. So it's just a journal page, and it's she brought flowers for herself, basically, rather than wait for somebody else to affirm her. She affirmed herself. So I like doing pages like that. And as a result of what you saw in previous pages with all this detail, I started, I think this was, no, this wasn't one of the first. I'll show you the first one that I did. He's all the way back there. So that will show you that I don't kind of, my journal is not always chronological. So I did hit him first, and I started drawing these squares, initially just in his shirt, and then I thought, what if I did them all over? And when I did it, I really liked it. And so I've been doing more. And then I did, so they've got numbers on. Yeah. So then I did this one, and Charlie's here, and you can hear in the background she's found her nesting box. Anyway, so yeah, and I find it really soothing doing these kind of things, and I'm going to develop a course around it. It's just like, it's I love it, I really do, and it's just a help in terms of quietening the mind and helping you just reflect and focus. So let me see if there's any other one that I can show you. Can't show you the rest of the can't show you the rest yet because I'm not they're still in progress. Although I do show you work that's still in progress, but it's some new stuff that I'm working on, so I'm not going to share any of that yet. Ooh, you've got a little sneak peek there. My goodness, but you can see that one. I don't even think I've shared this one. I really do enjoy this. I really do enjoy doing this as well. Yeah. She just jumped. Anyway, sorry about that. Lovely to have you join me. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Thank you for you know, taking the time to watch the video. Check out the Badass Art Journal workshop. We did some really beautiful classes, and you will learn so much. And there will be a 2018 class, but I will let you know when who will be on that course, so that you can take a look. All right, so thank you and see you tomorrow.